Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, what a beautiful day it is. The first day of the lockdown, day number 1. So I'm now outside of our property, just basically just enjoying the early morning sun, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Again, hard to believe it's November. Some good news. Jane is on her way back, thank God, all the way from the UK. She's going to be flying through from Luton, and she should arrive tonight, which will be the final flight, basically directly out of here to the UK. Wizz Air flight. She's never flown with Wizz Air before. I think she's never flown with Wizz Air before. Yeah. So that's it. That's basically the end of the season, and the winter really is properly with us. And obviously today is the first day of our second lockdown. Anyway, little introduction. This is Graham the cat, big fella. Hello, lovely boy. How you doing? Here you go. Yeah, he's an interloper. Doesn't really belong to us. Oh, bless him. He came to us last year, literally round about this same time now. Basically, our friend of ours passed away called Graham, and we named him after him. We think it could be him back as cat form. But anyway, there you go. That's big Graham down there. Big shout out to Amanda. Nice to see you up and watching this morning. What's been going on? I hear you ask yourself. Oh, before I go, this is Domino. You've seen him before. Another one of our interlopers. This is 2 big bags of cat litter. Went out and bought those yesterday, ready for the lockdown. Cat litter tray duties to be done as soon as I finish the morning blog. Right then, let's quickly click the screen round. As you can see, I'm up bright and breezy this morning. Getting those jobs done before the mistress turns up, making sure that the place is nice for her when she arrives tonight. Right, so what's been going on? Right then, 7th of November 2020, some more COVID figures have come in. Friday saw 2,448 new cases of the virus infections, with unfortunately 14 more deaths. This has meant then that the ICUs are now under more pressure, and the ICUs now have 196 people in them at the moment. And this is the reason for the second lockdown, is to try and take some of the pressure off the ICUs. Now, there's more details concerning Thursday's figures. You might remember on Thursday there was a record 2,917 cases of coronavirus. It seems 3 of those cases, now it's been confirmed, were actually here on the island of Zakynthos, for those people who are wondering where I am. No details have been given as to who the 3 people are who've contracted the virus and what their condition is. Also, interestingly, from those figures as well, after going through them, it seems that there were also 21 cases detected in Corfu. That's the largest island in the Ionian. They're just up the road from us. So anyway, they've got 21 cases up there. Also, sadly, a priest from North Corfu who was hospitalised in an ICU hospital for about 3 weeks, unfortunately passed away as well yesterday as well. So our condolences to his family and also his parishioners. According to Corfu News, they said that his condition worsened in recent days, and basically he then passed away. So thank you to Corfu News for that information as well. Anyway, yesterday the Deputy Minister for Civil Protection, Nikos Hariadis, warned that abuse of the system for booking out with the new text system will carry heavier fines than what was done in the spring. Nikos Harialis warned that leaving home without applying for approval from the 13033 hotline or any other reason than those justified by the authorities now incurs a fine of €300, as opposed to the €150 that was imposed during the spring. Under the system, if you remember, you must send a free text to 13033 with a corresponding number, and obviously followed by your name and your address. And the 6 reasons are, just to quickly remind you: 1, visiting a pharmacy or a doctor. If you visit the doctor, it must be by appointment. 2 is to go and do shopping, or run to the supermarket or grocery store when delivery isn't an option, which guaranteed it's not much of an option here where we live, that is for sure. Visiting a bank is number 3, when online transaction is not possible, so you can still go to the hole in the wall and get some money out. Number 4, providing assistance to someone in need or chaperoning children to or from school. Now, I think that number 4 may apply if I decide to go and collect Jane from the airport tonight, because again, I think that number 4 is one of those that might be a loophole number, just to be aware. Okay. Number 5, attending a funeral or exercising or parental visitation rights. Number 6 is physical exercise or walking a pet. Up to 2 people can engage in these activities on the condition that they maintain a distance of 1.5 meters from one another. Doesn't say about the dog, but get a long lead. All right. There's also written authorizations for people who need to go to work or to travel for work or some other reasons, and they're available from the .gov.gr. Although the information there is only in Greek, but it will run through Google Translate. All right. Anyway, Harry Addis also said that people travelling into Greece from abroad will now need to show evidence of a negative corona test conducted within 72 hours before travelling, whereas before it was 48 hours. Now it is 72 hours, but that luckily doesn't come into force until Monday. So thank God Jane's managed to get back before then. Also, just another news story which is totally unrelated to COVID. A local man was arrested on Wednesday here in Zakynthos by police of the Aklion Police Department on a pending conviction from the Court of Appeals in Patras in relation to an abuse of a minor in an incest case. He was picked up by the police. The arrested man was then taken to the Zakynthos Public Prosecutor's Office. We have no more details on that at the moment. So all in all, it's day 1. It's going to be interesting to see how this lockdown period will work out, whether it's going to be of much difference to when we had the lockdown before, which, to be honest, everybody took it as a kind of a bit of fun, a bit of we weren't really getting ready. We were basically waiting to go back to work. Most of us people here were looking forward to a season, couldn't wait in some ways to get back to work. The lockdown was a bit of an inconvenience. It was a bit of fun. We all learnt to do something. Me, it was streaming. Jane, it was cooking, making fudge, making chocolate cake, making brownies. So somebody learnt to do something in that period. I think now it's taken on a new realm now. This lockdown, for a lot of people, isn't going to be fun. It's going to be an inconvenience. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be a test of relationships. It's also going to be a case of, are we going to have a Christmas or are we not going to have a Christmas? And also, you know, we'll wait and see how things pan out. At the moment, people are worrying now whether they're going to get their ICA payments or not. ICA offices are telling people at the moment that some people are eligible and some people aren't. So that's the next big factor. It's going to be about money and about trying to get through a winter to basically hopefully see a season starting in 2021. So again, I think we're in for some dark times at the moment, and we're just going to have to wait and see how it all plays out and pans out. And I actually personally, I feel I'm very lucky where I am at the moment. There is a freedom here when you're in your own property of being able to go out in the fresh air, and as long as you're within the boundaries of your property, you're okay. But there's going to be a lot of people who are in small little apartments, cooped up, without the same sense of freedom. Okay, So again, we shall wait and see what happens. We're not even sure, actually, that when Jane gets back, and she'll probably find this out when she arrives, whether there'll be a 14-day quarantine period that she has to abide by and I have to abide by. Because last time when Jane came back, we had to put a sticker on the door which said we were in quarantine. We then got police phone calls every day from the civil defence or from the police asking where we were on the landline. If we didn't pick up the landline quick enough, they'd phone on her mobile number. So they were tracking people, and they would remind us that if we weren't in the house and they would track us, we would obviously end up getting fined. So again, not sure if this very, very strict quarantine will come into place. We'll find out when basically Jane arrives tonight, what she's told by the police as she comes through the check at the airport. It'd be interesting to see if she's tested at the airport when she arrives as well. So all in all, I've got a few hours now to make the place look spick and span, ready for arrival, and obviously get things ready for when she turns up. Anyway, let's have a look and see who's tuning in this early in the morning. Amanda Gregory, she's up. She says, morning, Ginge. I hope you're good. Yeah, I'm good, actually. Christine Plant is watching as well. Nice to have you tuning in. You're a local, if I remember rightly, Christine. Nice to have you here. Neil Facer, he's also watching in. That's a new name. I'm not sure if I know who Neil Facer is. I'll have to check you out. Andy Reid, ex-Raffridge buddy, tuning in. Susie Angus, entertainer, checking in as well from over in Birmingham. Nice to have you with us. Stefan Hammer, he's here down in Marianisi, down there on Kerry Coast. He's tuning in at the moment. Stefan also has a Cats in Zakynthos webcam where you can go on and look at his cat Speedy and his little crew down there having a whale of a time through the lockdown, no doubt. Also, Hilary Rogers is also tuning in as well. And Hilary says, morning, Ginge, stay safe. Thank you, Hilary. Amanda says, number 4, a friend in need. Is this okay if she's out of wine? Laugh out loud. Good question. I think you might need to go to number 2, I think it is, which is going to the shops. I think might cover you better. I don't see the Greek police having a sense of humour over that one. Anyway, I don't know about you, but we're well and truly stocked up. Our grape harvest is in, and our lovely landlord, bless him, he's always bringing either olive oil or his homemade rocket juice, which, to be honest, was an acquired taste at beginning, and we used to give it to people rather than drink it ourselves. However, we then soon learned to discover the taste of it, and now we sort of hang on to it because it's good stuff. All right, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and also we'll be keeping an eye and see how active the police are. I've got to be honest, yesterday I was expecting it to be really busy yesterday, going out and about. I was quite busy because I had to do other little last minute sorting out for our friend's cat down in Basilikos and stuff like that. I was expecting to see Lidl to be really busy yesterday with people just doing like last minute shopping and stuff like that. But to be honest, I didn't see any kind of like panic buying or any mass hysteria. People were running around with masks on, etc., because we were still technically under the old rules until the new rules come in today with the 9 o'clock shutdown and everything else. But people seem to be just taking everything in their stride. There was none of this mass hysteria going out buying toilet roll or whatever it was, the thing that people needed. So, yeah, it seems to be everybody's just kind of chilled. What I did notice was the police were out and the police were doing checks, roadside checks and that. And yesterday there was an incident where I was at where the football stadium is. A man there collapsed, literally just outside there, rushed over. We gave him some first aid and we managed to get an ambulance and get him away to the hospital. But other than that, yeah, things really at the moment are kind of just settling down. People are just resigning themselves to the fact that they're going to be in their homes, hopefully just for the next 3 weeks up until the 28th. And obviously some review will be done after that to see how things will work out. But personally, all you can do is play the game, because the last thing you want is a €300 fine when you're struggling basically to make sure that you've got enough money to get you through the winter. And if you're one of those that's going to be affected by an ICA cut, that will be catastrophic for you and your family. So I think a lot of people will be playing the game. Right, Marie Halberg, she's watching as well. John Atherton, he's tuning in as well. Nice to see, as well as Chris O'Gorman, Dennis Patrick Carroll, who's over there in Cyprus. Now, I understand Cyprus at the moment, you're also having some problems over there. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head exactly what's happening with Cyprus, but I understand you're having some very strict quarantine measures being placed on you over there. Chick Ballantyne is also watching as well. Dave Foley. Oh, there's a blast from the past. Not heard from Dave Foley in a very, very long time. Anyway, nice to have you tuning in as well. Right, once again, just to remind you that my latest show is also up online at the moment. So thank you to those people that tuned in yesterday. My next show will be next Wednesday, which is a good break from it, because it'll be interesting to see where we are in the lockdown by next Wednesday. And also Jane will be back as well by then, and we'll kind of be settling into some form of routine. But remember, if you want a record or a request for the next show, which will be going out next Wednesday, then obviously just pop it down below in the little comments area, and I will put you into my little book ready for the show. Anyway, I'm starting to rabble on now. I've got lots to do. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll see how today goes through. I've got to be honest, today does not feel like a Saturday. It really doesn't. It feels more like a Sunday. I don't know if you're going to be lost in time, because that's one thing I did notice from our last lockdown. We just got strangely lost in time. You know, we didn't know what day it was or whatever it was. We just knew it was day 34 of the lockdown or whatever it was. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now. I'll speak to you again soon. You take care and have a great day wherever you are. Ta-ra.